Good morning, everybody. It is day 31 of the suffering. We are up again in the morning doing the Stairmaster again. Every day is exactly the same, day in and day out, routine, repetitiveness, constantly doing the same thing. But the only thing that changes is the body. Every day, getting a little bit better and a little bit closer to my goals. Okay, let me do this cardio, and I'll see you guys in the kitchen. Back in the kitchen again. So that 20 minutes of cardio wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all. In fact, it actually went pretty quick, but I did keep the intensity down a little bit today. I did it on level 1, which is not normally what I do. I normally keep it on level 2 to 3 in the mornings, but because I'm doing my legs tonight, I decided, let me go ahead and do it on level 1, and then I'll not make up for it, but I'll also go on my walks today after I eat, and I'll be plenty as far as it goes for cardio, because I want my legs to be fresh for my leg workout. As far as it goes for my sciatica, for those of you who are wondering, it is significantly better. It hasn't been bothering me at all. Also, I decided, instead of just doing yoga on Sundays once a week, I'm doing it nightly. I guess I should have said something earlier, but I didn't think about mentioning it until just now. But I decided to start doing yoga daily. And when I get done working out, I do my protein shake, and then from there, me and my wife, we go and tan. And then whenever I get done tanning, I get back and then I meal prep all my food for the next day. And then once I'm done meal prepping, I edit all my videos and do all the YouTube stuff. And then once I'm done editing my videos and I start the uploads, that's whenever I start to do my yoga. And I do maybe 15 minutes a night, stretching out the quads, the tibialis, the hips, the hamstrings, the back, just basic yoga. I do about 15 minutes a night. And doing 15 minutes a night, that seems to be doing the trick, because after I did it on Sunday, I felt like a pull in my left groin, hip, inner thigh area. Like I strained something, stretching too far or too aggressively. So I thought, okay, instead of stretching so aggressively and stretching like for a very long duration of time, that seems to kind of be counterproductive. Not counterproductive, but that seems to be too much for me too soon for yoga. And I'm not trying to do too much too soon and end up getting hurt, because that's not the goal. The goal of yoga is to get my flexibility, my mobility, my agility back, so I feel healthier, my hips feel better, my back feels better, my knees, my shoulders, everything feels better, and I get more mobile and more flexible. And then plus it helps work on the stabilizers and my imbalances and all those little things that I don't get just from being a meathead in the gym. Just pick up heavy thing, put heavy thing down, So it allows you to use your body in a way that you don't normally move in. So I figured if I do it nightly, I would probably benefit much more than just doing it once a week. So that's what I'm doing, and it is helping dramatically. I'm still going to do it on Sundays. I'll probably do this 7 days a week, because there's no impact, and it's not super aggressive where it's like, oh, I can't recover from this, I did too much yoga. So 15 minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes a night. I'll probably get up to about 20 minutes. I have a little routine that I'm doing right now that seems to be hitting all the areas in the hip, the low back, and my shoulders that I really need to focus and emphasize on. So I want to keep doing this little routine that I made over the course of watching because I watched a whole bunch of yoga videos, right? I got on there, and not the girl ones where the girls are doing all that. You guys know, like they wear those little shorts, they wear those little clothes, and they're just pretty much exposing themselves where they're not getting like flagged on YouTube. Not those. That's what I don't even want to talk about. Anyway, so I watched a bunch of yoga videos, especially like the Tony Horton P90X stuff. And he's a really good yoga instructor. I watch a lot of his stuff, and then I watch a lot of other yoga videos, and
And I looked at the poses and the yoga positions and the movements and transitions, how to go from one movement to another movement. And I just kind of like, I guess you say, studied the flow of it. And then from there, I designed my own yoga routine according to what I need. Because when I was doing that Warrior 2 deep open chest stretch, that's what hurt me. But that's not what I'm needing. I'm needing more of the stretch, not more of the static loads. And I think more of my abdominals worked on in my abductors than my quads. And I feel like being that warrior position just really hits the quad and the everything that's already tight. I feel like it's just making it tighter. I'm not needing a hold and a stance that's going to make me tighter and strain. I need something that's going to stretch and open me up without putting me under like that type of stress. Now, I'm not saying I won't get there eventually. I will, but that's why I'm doing this 15 to 20 minutes a night, because I feel like doing it 15, 20 minutes a night, working on the stretching and the mobility part is what's going to be the ticket to keep my sciatic from flaring up and hurting me and bothering me, and getting me on the right track of getting everything how it needs to be instead of being so tight and bound up. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I can slowly work my way into it. And then Sundays, maybe in a couple of weeks from doing this nightly, I'll be able to push Sunday and get 30, 40, 50 minutes, maybe even an hour in. Or maybe I could even look at a yoga class, and me and my wife can go to a yoga class on Sunday. Maybe that could be like a thing me and my wife does, is go to like a yoga studio, and me and her could go do some yoga together on a Sunday morning, since we don't work out or do cardio or nothing like that on Sundays. But I don't know if my wife would really be interested in doing that. She complains about her hips hurting all the time, but trying to get her to do yoga is, I don't think it's going to happen. But anyways, yeah, so that's it about the yoga. Now, I got a question from Paul. He says, let me see. He says, he just actually messaged me this morning, 24 minutes ago. So what about after you reach the end? Have you planned that far ahead? Yes, I have. A couple different ideas and directions that I'm going to go in. One being, I'm going to do a maintenance phase for 1 to 2 weeks, or 2 to 3 weeks, I'm sorry, and let my body kind of level out by reducing cardio. Because the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop cardio down from 40 minutes a day to possibly 10 to 15 minutes a day. And I want my body to kind of level out without having that extra stimulus for calorie consumption, see what my body does. From there, I'm actually going to increase, my camera just turned on. A motion detector. Anyways, and then from there, I'm going to go from 3 weeks of maintenance phase, and I'm going to change the chicken out to beef, and then I'm going to keep the amounts the same, but I'm going to add beef stock in. I'm also going to change out the brown rice to jasmine rice is what I'm going to do, and that will be the first thing I do after the 3-week maintenance. And I'm going to see how my body adapts to the sodium being introduced back in with the beef stock, and then how my body responds to the beef. And I might actually do that in the beginning. I might actually, right when I'm done with this, I'm gonna probably actually change out the chicken to beef and do the beef stock, keep the amounts completely the same for the first 3 weeks, and see how my body reacts to that while dropping the cardio. And then after 3 weeks, I'll probably bump up the beef from 8 ounces to probably 10 ounces a meal, and then see how my body responds to that for a couple of weeks. And then if I'm going in the right direction, then I'll probably take the eggs, and I'm going to bump up the eggs from a cup and a half of egg whites to adding in an additional half a cup of whole eggs. So it'll be 2 eggs, 2 cups instead of one and a half cup, but there'll be egg yolks. So I have a plan of what I'm going to do, and the plan is going to be bulking up, but I'm not trying to get fat. I'm going to try to put size on without adding any additional body fat, because I do not want to gain any body fat. The goal is not to put fat back on. Now, I know when I increase the calories and I drop the cardio, I will regain some weight, and I'm going to get a lot of water retention, and I will put an extent of some body fat back on. But I am not going to try to lose my abs and get a gut. It is too hard trying to get abs to go that far backwards and then get fat again and put all that weight back on and cover the abs up. The main agenda is to put size back on while keeping my body fat as low as possible, so I do not have to do a hard cut again and lose this much muscle mass trying to be able to see my abs, because I don't want to have to be able to do this so long and for such a hard duration where it's like I lose so much muscle mass. So the goal for this is to get abs. If I don't get abs with this, then that's when I'm going to decide if I need to continue the cut after the end of July until I get to where I need to be, and then do this maintenance phase, and then start adding the calories and going on a very mild bulk, trying to put a little bit of size on without putting any fat on. If I do hit my goal by the end of July, that's what I'm going to do. So I have two different plans: hitting my goal and proceeding forward, not hitting my goal, continuing with how I'm going right now until my goal is accomplished, and then executing the next stage, which would be pretty much a 3-month bulk. But it's not going to be a bulk because I'm not going to be gorging myself. I'm going to slowly increase my calories while trying to maintain the visual abdominals so I can put on legitimate muscle mass, not fat. Okay, so that's going to be it for this part of the video. I'm going to cut it off here so I can eat breakfast, and I'll see you guys at 9 o'clock. It is 9 o'clock, so it's time for my first chicken and rice meal of the day, and few things here. Reason why I'm boiling my chicken. I hate chicken breast. I cannot stand chicken breast. I hate it. I don't care how it's cooked. I don't care. If you grill it, you smoke it, you fry it. I hate it. When I go out to eat fried chicken, when I get a bucket of fried chicken, no breast. Do not put any breast in that bucket. I would be mad if there's a breast in that bucket. All dark meat. When I go out to eat at a restaurant, if I order chicken, it will not ever be chicken breast. If I go to a barbecue restaurant, it will never be chicken breast. If I'm cooking food just to cook food, it will never be chicken breast. Ever. I like the thighs, I like the wings, and I like the drums. I do not like the breast. It is the worst. I don't care how it's seasoned either. I don't care. It sucks. I hate it. It's the worst. I hate it. So for me to spend time air frying or seasoning or pan searing and doing all these different techniques that take a whole lot of time to cook my food, I'm not even going to enjoy anyways. It's just easier. I take 15 pounds of chicken, I put it in a big pot. I open up the container, I dump it in the pot. I open up the container, I dump it in the pot. I open up the container, I dump it in the pot. I add water to the pot. I turn the burner on the stove. I put the pot on the burner, put the lid on, set a timer. Then I go about my life and I don't ever think about it until the timer goes off. And then I go and turn the heat off. So that way, if there's something I'm doing, or if I'm out and about, I'll call my daughter. Hey, turn the stove off. Okay. Or I just turn it off. Then I can let it sit up there for 2, 3, 4 hours. It doesn't matter. It's just sitting in its own broth. And then from there, all I have to do is just, when I get the time, just drain it, put it in a container. And then throughout the day, throughout the week, I just, because it's boiled, it shreds apart. I just weigh it out with my rice and my green beans. It's the easiest and fastest way to cook a lot of meat at once with the least amount of effort and the least amount of energy for a food you don't even enjoy anyways. So I don't put effort into it because I'm not going to enjoy it. I don't know what it is. The flavor is chicken and it tastes like chicken, but it's the texture and it's the dryness of it that I hate. Oh, well, it's because how you cook it. No, I don't care how it's cooked. I've slow smoked chickens. I've fried chickens. I've had all different kinds from different restaurants. I do not care. It's just something about the chicken breast that just sucks the joy out of my life. So well, then why are you doing chicken breast? Why don't you do something else? Because chicken breast, pound for pound, has the absolute most amount of protein with the least amount of calories without going to fish. And I don't want to go to fish because fish, I like fish, but I have to be in the mood to eat fish. And if I'm not in the mood to eat fish, I'm not going to eat it. So that's why I do my chicken breast. But this will probably be the last time I do a diet with chicken breast. I will stick to the red meat. And then the other thing about chicken breast too, before I get off topic here in this is it's cheaper. So to get 93.7 ground meat, that's like $5 a pound. This is like $2.50 a pound. So for like less than $40, I can get 15 pounds of this. With the red meat, I'm looking at, for 15 pounds, about $75 a week at the cheapest I can find it. So $35-ish
$75 ish. It's just cheaper. Now, granted, I'm not going to keep eating this just because it's cheaper than red meat. It's the whole concept of why I'm doing this is because the pound for pound calories. But this will probably be the last time I ever diet with chicken breast, unless I get a personal trainer and he tells me we need to go to chicken breast, and we're going to compete in a show. If I hire a trainer to help me compete in a bodybuilding show, and he tells me you got to do the breast, I will do it then. But if I am structuring my own diet, I will never, ever, unless I'm broke and I have no other means of money to buy any other kind of meat but chicken breast. Is the only way I'm going to do this again. Because I hate it. I hate it. It's called the suffering. Not just because of I'm waking up doing cardio and I'm working out and I'm going to die and I'm hungry. It's called the suffering because I'm doing food I don't like. I don't like brown rice. I don't like chicken breast. Now, why are you doing this? Because there's something wrong with me. Don't you get that? There's just something wrong with me. I like to suffer sometimes. No, it's to push myself. It's to challenge myself to say, hey, could I do this? Could I make myself uncomfortable? Could I become comfortable with being uncomfortable at doing something that makes me miserable? And the answer is yes, I am doing it. It's 31 days and I'm continuously doing it. I'm not going to stop until the end. I just like to know that if I have to do something, I can do something, right? It's not like, well, I could quit smoking if I wanted to. I just don't want to. I could quit drinking if I wanted to. I just don't want to. I could go on a diet if I wanted to. I just don't want to. I could eat chicken breast and brown rice if I wanted to. I just don't want to. Well, I don't want to. I'm never going to want to, but I'm going to prove that I can by doing it. So that's why. Okay, I'm going to eat now because I am hungry. And this is not getting any more appetizing. So I just want to get it out of the way. All right, I'll see you guys at lunchtime. It's 12 o'clock, so it's another meal time. It is raining really bad today, so I'm not going to be recording any of my walks. I'm just going to sit here and talk in my chair. I'm going to go for a walk when I'm done eating, but it's going to be through the warehouse, and I'm not going to record inside of a warehouse. People don't want to be caught on camera, so anyways. I'm going to be completely honest. I feel like I respond a lot better to red meat than I do chicken. And I know I said I'm doing the chicken for several reasons. One, because I hate it. I want to challenge myself. Two, it's cheaper. And three, pound for pound, there's more protein, less calories. But to be completely honest, I do feel like my body responds so much better to red meat than it does to chicken. I feel like I get a lot more out of it. I mean, to be completely honest, I feel like my body just absorbs it and utilizes it more, and I get more results. I feel like it's not any harder for me to lean out than it is when I do chicken, and I feel like with red meat, my body just, like I said, responds better to it. I'm not going to cop out and change it up to red meat. I would like to. Don't get me wrong. I would really like to go back to eating ground meat and jasmine rice and beef stock because that's what I normally do. I normally do whole eggs with breakfast, not egg whites. And I also normally do 93.7 ground meat with beef stock and jasmine rice. And then I normally do like a New York strip. I go to Sam's and I order the whole slab of beef and then have them cut it into one strips, which is normally like $150, and I get about 16 steaks. I normally would do that with dinner. So that's what my typical diet looks like when I'm in a maintenance phase or just kind of like a bulking phase or just whatever. Then I'll go up or down. But yeah, I do whole eggs for breakfast with whole milk, the ground meat and rice 3 times throughout the day. I'll do a protein shake or yogurt with protein powdered mixed into it. And then I'll do like a steak, whatever the 1-inch cut weighs is whatever it weighs, with some type of vegetable and butter. So when people are always asking, like, why don't you do this? Well, I normally do that. And I do feel like I respond really well to it, but it's a lot of enjoyment for me to eat like that. So I want a little bit of a challenge, and I want to do something that's going to make me kind of like question, like, why am I doing this? And can I make it? And everything else. But I do want to go back to red meat. I'm going to, for sure. I'm going to. Today's a lot of talk about chicken, as y'all can tell. But I got my meal right here, chicken and rice. And also, too, brown rice, I feel like it stays with me longer. So it's like, I feel like it keeps me full longer. So it's a plus. But then at the same time, I also feel like my body has a lot harder of a time digesting it. So I feel like it makes it absorb longer throughout the day and slower. And this may not make any sense, but in my head it made sense. But as I'm saying it out loud, it just sounds stupid. But okay, so when I eat jasmine rice, it's like it gets in me. My body releases insulin fairly quickly and then absorbs into the tissue, and it's done and over with. And my body goes back to being hungry. The insulin spike's over with. It's absorbed. It's done. It's gone. And now I'm back to burning pretty much fat. When I eat brown rice, I feel like because it takes so long to break down, it's just slowly trickling all day long. So instead of my body having that quick spike, let's reload the muscles. Let's flood the blood with the sugar. Let's go ahead and spike the insulin, pull the sugar out of the blood into the tissue, and then let's go ahead and bring the blood sugar down and stop the insulin release. And now the muscles recharged, ready to go again. But now we're going to be burning fat for energy. I know it sounds stupid saying it out loud. Versus the brown rice, where it's just like slowly trickling all day, or it's like, oh, what do we want to use for energy? Oh, this brown rice. What do we use for energy? Oh, this brown rice. But oh wait, more brown rice is coming in because it takes so long to digest. I know that's not the way it works, but it's not. Well, I mean, it kind of is. To be honest, it is kind of is the way it works. But like, I don't know if that's how it works for weight loss. In fact, I don't know. I'm in my head again, just thinking about some stupid stuff, just rattling around, the balls bouncing off the walls. So, okay, I'm gonna go and turn this off so I can eat.
4 o'clock, we're back in the gym for another Wednesday night, which is going to be our quads, day 31, late night. Okay, so whenever I did my yoga the other day, I pulled something in this groin, inner hip area. So those are strained. I don't know how bad it was. I don't know to what extent. I feel it when I lean on this one leg, or if I shift over. I kind of feel it here and there. Nothing too crazy. I've been doing yoga every night. I haven't had any issues with it. I've been stretching. Haven't had any issues with it. But I also haven't done it under load. Also, when I keep my knees together, I don't feel it. But if I put my knees outwards and I lean, I can feel it. So I'm going to play by ear tonight. I might have to go a lot lighter on the belt squats and the hack squats to prevent any further injury from occurring. So if I have to scale it back to kind of, I guess, cruise control and maintain my legs without overloading them tonight, just to keep them active without hurting them, I'm going to do that because I'm not trying to get injured. It hasn't bothered me on cardio, anything like that. So like I said, we're going to see how it goes. As the day has gone on, I've gotten progressively tired. It's come a lot heavier than what I thought it would be. Like, I woke up a little tired this morning getting out of bed doing cardio, but for the most part all day I felt pretty good. But as the day's gone on, man, I'm just feeling more and more fatigued, and I just have more and more exhaustion. I'm just like, oh man, like if I'm going to be 100% honest, I don't feel like being in here. I don't feel like working out tonight. That's not going to stop me. Right? It's a mental thing. I say it all the time. This is a lot of mental, like all of this, the dieting, eating the same thing, the same flavors, doing the same workouts, the same times. It's all mental. It's all routine. Just because I don't feel like it mentally doesn't mean I'm not physically capable of doing it. So I'm going to do it, and I'm going to go into autopilot. I'm going to shut my brain off, and I'm going to try to do what I can do tonight and get it done with. It's just one of those things where, like, it's just ups and downs, highs and lows. The mind is just, it has its way of just messing with you like crazy, at least for me. And I can't speak for everybody else, but for me. Okay, I'm going to get this workout in, and then I will talk to you guys about it afterwards and let you know how my leg did and how the workout went overall in general, like I always do. So let's get this workout started. Okay, so tonight was a little disappointing. The workout I'm gonna say is was a 4 out of 10. I'm gonna start doing ratings on the workouts. So tonight was a 4, and the reason why it was a 4 was because of I had that thing in my hip I told you guys about. Well, it did bother me, so I was able to do all 4 sets of leg extensions, and I went up and weight on that. That felt good. When I moved to belt squats, like I told you, when my legs are wide, it's whenever I could feel it, and it felt super tight, like a rubber band at maximum stretch, like it was just about maybe a hair away from popping or tearing. So I decided it's not worth it to get hurt to try to push through and have a hard workout and then be out for months. So I backed off the weight. Instead of going up to 315 tonight like I was planning, I only went up to 225, and I did 3 sets, and that was it. And then I moved to hack squats with my feet really close, and I thought, okay, here's where I can make some ground up. Same thing, I could feel it, and it wasn't a very comfortable feeling, so I only did 3 sets of that, and I worked up to 205 on that. That I pushed the reps up to 15 because it was a little bit lighter, so I was just like, let me push it to 15 because I can handle it, get a little bit more volume. My calves did 3 sets, worked up to actually 120 because that caused my knee to be a little wonky, and then when I was doing seated calf raises, the pressure on my knee didn't feel good, so I reduced that. I know it seems like a huge cop-out, but look, I'm not trying to get hurt. I'm not in a hurry to get hurt, so if me backing off on my weights and my sets and my reps for 1 or 2 weeks to let whatever this is have more time to heal up and recover, I'm going to do that because I can't get any better if I can't work out. That's just a fact. So what I was able to do was I was able to train my abs. So I did some ab work because I was like, why not? I only train my abs out on Saturdays. So it's like, if I train them out on Saturdays, why don't I train them on Wednesdays as well too with my leg night? So I went ahead and trained them tonight, and then I ended up doing 35 minutes on the Stairmaster instead of 20 minutes. And I think from here on out, I'm going to start doing 30-minute sessions in the morning and in the evening, and I'm going to really push the envelope because I'm at the point now where it's just like I'm getting close to 7 weeks. So the only thing I can do is push harder. I can either just accept where I'm heading right now with what I'm doing, or I can try to push a little bit. And I know, oh, you can't rush it. You're going to burn a lot of muscle mass up and blah, 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 blah. Well, since the beginning of May, I've only been doing 20 minutes on the Stairmaster, and it's already the first week of June. So about this is 4 weeks. We're in the middle of the 5th week. We're in the middle because it's Wednesday, so we're in the middle of the 5th week. So I think it's time something needs to change because I've been doing the exact same food, the exact same amounts, the exact same cardio, and the exact same workouts for 4.5 weeks. So it's time to make an adjustment, and I'm going to make the adjustment on training my abs more frequently and bumping up my cardio to 30 minutes twice a day, 5 days a week, and we're going to see where that takes us. It's either going to work out and burn more fat, or it's going to bite me in the rear and I'm going to burn more muscle mass up. Either way it goes, the goal remains the same, to get my abs, because once I get those little stubborn muscles out, I can maintain and hold on to them and put all my muscle mass back on, and except for this time, be leaner and look better and have a bigger head start next time I go to cut to hopefully compete. But I am going to go ahead and end the video right here, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.